What's up, guys? So the PLL announced their home cities today. Real exciting news for them and for people who live in areas that get teams. They did some rebranding efforts, and I hate being critical of other people's art, but I am going to critique some of these logos. I'm like the worst when people come to me for help with art, and I can't say bad stuff about their art. But I don't know these designers, and some of these designs have really come up short. So I'm going to try and shelve my empathy, my guilt, and I'm going to talk about them. First of all, the teams, in case you haven't heard: California Redwoods, Utah Archers, Denver Outlaws, Carolina Chaos, Maryland Whipsnakes, Philly Water Dogs, New York Atlas, and Boston Cannons. Great that they brought back the Outlaws. I love that. And cool that they put the Cannons back in Boston. Good move there. I'm gonna go through these from my favorite to my least favorite. So starting off, my favorite is the Denver Outlaws. That's just clean. You know, the word mark, like the typeface is great. The icon is so simple but clean. The barbed wire with I believe it's horns, and then with that bold Denver, it looks great. It looks fantastic. The secondary with the D, that's okay. The tertiary, the shield thing with the skull, it's all right. I do like the established 2006. That's pretty cool, but that skull is goofy. It's it doesn't look original. It looks like clip art, which is a recurring theme through some of these. But the main logo is my favorite. That one's great. Second is the California Redwoods. That's a clean logo. The bear it's simple, which is fine. A little goofy, but not terrible. The three redwoods below look great. Colors are awesome. Typeface is perfect. That California little serif font, it looks good. The star, I think, should be red, but that does introduce a whole other color into the color scheme, which is not great. You know, they got a really simple palette here, but it still should be a red star. Come on, it's California. We have a red star on our flag, but whatever. But what is weird about the California team is that where in California? California is massive. So, I mean, if it's like Chula Vista, you know, that's a 12-hour drive for me. Or if it's Oakland, it's a 10, 12-minute drive. Who knows? California's massive. Pick a city. But maybe they're just not there yet, which I get. But yeah, California Redwoods, it works. And I like the logo. My next favorite is kind of a toss-up. I would probably go with the Utah Archers. It's bold, it's clean, but it's boring. There's, you know, it's an arrowhead and an A, and you know, it's not bad. The shield behind it seems sort of superfluous, but you know, it kind of brings in the secondary colors, and it's okay. I'm not a huge fan of the typeface in the top of the U and the top of the A and H, how it kind of juts over a little bit, creates a little bit of imbalance, which I don't love. I think that could have been tuned up a little bit, but I do like the negative space of the state of Utah in there. That's pretty good. Overall, not a bad logo. A little boring, kind of blah. Doesn't evoke much emotion or feeling from me, but I like that it's clean. Next, I think I would have to go Boston Cannons. There's some big problems with this one, but overall I like it. It's just lettering too big, icon too small in the main one. You know, I get that it's a big deal that they're back in Boston, but you know, the novelty of that will wear off real quick, and it'll be like it always was after a season or two. So the cannons and the lacrosse head should be bigger in that circular logo, and Boston Cannons should be quite a bit smaller. The 2001, the date they were established, that's pretty cool. Lettering is good. It's all pretty good. It's just a little bit mismatched in terms of size of the elements. Not bad. The secondary logo is pretty cool, the B with the fuse. All right, after that, it is the Chaos. It's not a bad logo. The typeface that they used is kind of a Western looking typeface. When you get those little scalloped edges to letters, that's sort of indicative of like Western, Southwestern cowboy stuff. Carolina it doesn't fit. It looks okay. I wish they would have thought about the lettering a little more. They redesigned the scorpion to be like a native species of scorpion to Carolina, I guess. But the thing that drives me bonkers in the main logo is that they cut off the tail. That curved tail is iconic. It's a big part of their identity. And if you look at the further logos, you'll see that, yeah, in the secondary logo with the state, which is gross, that's just terrible, they've got the curved tail. If you look at the word mark, they've replaced the C with the curved tail, which is gross. That's terrible. Get rid of that C scorpion tail, make it a regular C, put the tail underneath and wrap it up around the A or something. That's not good. But you could tell that the curved tail of the scorpion is part of their identity, and they just cut it off in the main one. Not okay. There are things that could have been done to squeeze it in there, make it fit, change the shape of the shield, have it stick out of the shield, kind of like the claws are creeping into the black part. So I don't love that, but it's not bad overall. Maryland whip snakes, colors look great. The typeface Maryland is terrible. Just not a fan of that in any way, shape, or form. Again, the pieces jutting out from the negative space to give it some, make it a little more dynamic, doesn't work. The dropped shadow 3D effect reminds me of Costco. The red and the white, the Kirkland logo, but it's clunky. It's not well done. I use that technique a lot in my designs, and this is just it's not well done. Also, cutting off the tail at the bottom, it gives it a certain balance, but it's bizarre because you see the beginning of the snake, the head, but you do not see the end. So it shows a section of the tail, but the end of the tail is behind. That maybe should come up around in front. The M, the secondary logo, is pretty good. The icon is all right. That snake is too skinny, though, and especially after I designed the thick snakes design, I really see that snake as too skinny nowadays, but not terrible. Oh, what's next? The Philly Water Dogs. I mean, when the expansion team water dogs came on the scene, everyone was like, well, that's not a water dog. I mean, anyone who knows dogs, it's like, that's a bulldog, mastiff, underbite kind of thing. It's not a water dog. My brother had a Chesapeake Bay Retriever when I was younger. It was an awesome dog, a water dog. And I don't know if there's a lot. Yeah, I think there's a lot of different breeds of water dogs they could have used. This is a Great Dane. Weird choice. And from looking at it, the face, I was like, well, maybe it's not a Great Dane. It looks like clip art. This is just the most uninspired drawing of a dog. And then they just slap the Philly and the water dogs, again with the typeface that skews to the left with the top little bits. Just not a fan. But the lettering and the logo, the graphic are just disconnected. It's like it was just slapped together in Canva or something. It's just basic. And then what else? The whiskers, the dots. Usually you get them kind of, they can match on each side. They can be symmetrical from side to side, but they should be a little offset. That's just kind of the way you draw dogs. These are rows and columns. It looks like icons on a phone screen. Bizarre choice. When I first saw it, I was like, that's a Great Dane. And then I was like, well, maybe it's not. But then you scroll through and you see the tertiary design of the dog standing. That's a Great Dane. Not a water dog. I have seen Great Danes splash around in the water before, but they are not a water dog. And then the secondary word mark, dogs. Every high school program in the country that is the Bulldogs, they use that script, dogs. In fact, we have one in our league. And the paw print dogs, it's basically clip art that they got from the internet. Boring. Weird. So the water dogs kind of fell flat. But the worst of the worst has got to be this New York Atlas logo. What is going on with that bull? That thing is not okay. That bull has rammed its head into the wall too many times. His eyes are all close together. Those eyebrows are ridiculous. It's clip art, clearly clip art. It just could have been so much better. They're so easy to make a bull, a 2 or 3 colored bull. It's powerful and mean and, rad looking, but this thing sucks. And I liked the first Atlas logo. I thought that was pretty clean. Colors are still good. Lettering is good, but damn, the secondary mark with the NY, I like that. That looks pretty good. But goddamn, that bull is terrible. I'm sad for New York that's their logo. I mean, it sort of reminds me of the Chicago Bulls, because that's a shitty bull too, but it's allowed to be shitty. That thing's got history. This is not okay. That's one that should be. All the rest, I can get over. The water dog sucks, but I can get over it. But damn, that bull should be redone right away. First thing. Absolutely garbage. Anyway, I apologize if any designers happen to see this and I hurt your feelings. Art is subjective. Your art is great. I'm an idiot. I don't know anything. Let's go with that.